here, definitely subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notifications when I upload new videos, and smash the like button. Man, I went live. How the hell was I talking for a long time and the motherfucker only got a minute, not even a full minute of the conversation, which is sucky as fuck. Like, really, bitch? Talking to the phone or whatever, the internet, whatever the fuck went wrong. You know, that did give me an opportunity to think about the conversation that I was having and try to present it in a different way than I did present it. Because so many things that I said needed to be said. But I just feel like sometimes people just want to get you wrong. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes people just want to believe and think of you in a certain way because maybe it just makes their day go by better. I don't know. If I got to be the villain in your story, then great. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. I'll do that. I'll be that. If that's what you need in order not to off yourself, then go for it. But I'm just, I don't know. I've come to a place where, you know, I'm learning the value of letting life be the teacher of those that need to be taught by life, right? Remember when you were younger and your parents would like warn you against certain things or tell you certain stuff or whatever? And if you listened, you could avoid some of the things that they may have experienced. And if you didn't, your hard-headed ass is going to have to learn that lesson, right? Life is going to teach you. Some people, they just need to be taught through life because their hard-headed ass don't want to listen. And that's just the facts of life. Some people, you have to let them learn the lessons of life. Life has to teach them. Because some people want to keep up mental stories in their minds in order to escape accountability, responsibility, in order to escape. Hey, Truly Blessed, how you doing, babe? That last video cut off within a minute. I was like, what the hell, when I went back to go look at it? So I'm trying to get this message across. You know, obviously, sometimes folks don't want the message to come through, but I got to do what I got to do, you know. Some people need to learn through life lesson. And the reason for that is because you trying to help them through, they're not getting it. They're not seeing that you were sent to bless them in this way. Sometimes it's because they have false ideas about you in their mind. Sometimes it's because they really don't fuck with you deep down. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's because they've been hurt so much that they are defending themselves from the world, even if they don't have to. Whatever the case, sometimes life has to be that teacher, you know. Some people are hurting so bad and hurting deeply, and they don't even realize it. Because it's not a surface pain, they don't recognize that the pain is still there and the pain is just underneath the surface. All you gotta do is scratch that motherfucker. That means that that's somebody that usually can be triggered. Whenever they're triggered, that pain shows up. And to be honest with you, you never know when that is. Because oftentimes when you come across other people, you are, or they are, a mirror of what may be going on with you internally. Whew, child, so much I got to say. It's too much to say that I just, now that I'm in this video, because in the other video I was talking. It only showed 1 fucking minute. It just, from that point on, it ended. And so that was upsetting. Because I said a lot of shit. I'm going to end up having to just not go with that conversation. I'm going to come back with that conversation. In the meantime, in between time, how are we doing out there in the world? How are you feeling about life? Is life treating you right? And if life is not treating you right, then I want you to get in the fucking mirror and start speaking better upon yourself. Instead of speaking ill on top of others or speaking bad towards others, speak good upon yourself. When you spending your time speaking good upon yourself, you don't have time to be speaking ill upon others. Some people are hurting so deeply that they don't even realize that it is visible. Like, I can see, I can read the pain on you. I can see, I can hear the pain in your voice. Some people are dealing with so much pain they don't even realize that you're not hiding it very well. And then it's like a baby. You know how a baby get when they fussy and they hungry and they need a butt change and they, all kind of shit going on with them at the moment. Maybe they got I don't know if the baby have a rash or not, but maybe not. Maybe they just really tired, but they're also maybe sick or something and irritated, And you know how the baby just can't get comfortable, just can't get comfortable, just fussy and basically just unhappy, right? Just basically overall unhappy at this moment. Okay, this baby just is unhappy right now. Okay, nothing you can do can make me happy. Okay, you change that baby's butt. Okay, you get that baby something to eat, try to feed that baby. That baby just still a little fussy, That's when Kyrie, that's when I realized we got to start feeding this motherfucker some goddamn mashed potatoes. You know what I mean? Listen, hey, look, I don't give a damn what the doctor say. If that baby 3 months old and they need some mashed potatoes, give that baby some goddamn mashed potatoes. Okay? That baby hungry, okay? And Kyrie was my hungry baby. He was just, listen, because I breastfed all my kids. So, like, I would feed him and he would still be hungry. I'd be like, oh, no, like, this baby's still crying. What's wrong with my baby? Like, you know what? Let me get you some mashed potatoes, okay? Feed you some fucking mashed potato because you still hungry. He's still hungry. Got to feed him that baby food. Kyrie, I fed him sooner than any other baby that I've ever seen with baby food. Anyway, when that baby is agitated, that baby needs to be soothed in some way. Now, sometimes, if you know for sure there ain't nothing wrong with that baby and it's not that cry, because see, sometimes the baby be crying. There's different types of cries that a baby will have. A baby will have a cry where it's like, I am hungry, my butt hurt because I got a rash, or what else could it be? I need a new diaper, or what else could it be? There's so many things. I'm hungry. Okay. Those different cries, they have different little tones and stuff like that. They got different pitches. They got different tones. Once you learn that baby, right, you know the tone and the pitch of each cry. And so when that baby has this like not ending cry, they just keep crying and crying, right? Like, you got to figure out what's going on. I done changed the butt. I done gave you some food. I done did this. I done did that. What could it be? Well, obviously it's something, right? So you got to soothe that baby. And sometimes you feel like, okay, well, maybe this baby needs to learn how to self-soothe, so you let the baby cry, right? There are some cases when you can just let the baby cry because maybe this baby is just being fussy. Ain't nothing wrong with that baby. That baby just won't be fussy right now, right? They probably want you to hold them, and I'm not holding you right now, right? But sometimes it's not that you need to let that baby self-soothe. Sometimes you need to soothe that baby. Sometimes you need to hold that baby. Sometimes you need to love that baby. Sometimes you need to kiss that baby. Sometimes you just need to let that baby lay on your chest. Until that baby finds comfort. I believe there's a lot of adults out here in this world that need exactly that. Like, maybe they just didn't get no soothing. Maybe they didn't get no straightening when they was a baby. Like, maybe their mama did not hold them like that. I don't know, but what the case is. But I feel like there are a lot of adults out here right now that need that type of soothing, because it doesn't make no fucking sense. There are some grown people out here who literally need to be soothed like a baby. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm literally saying that to be literal. I'm being the most literal way, in the most literal way. I'm saying this like that for that reason. Because some people are literally on shaky grounds because they've been experiencing and dealing with so many things. There's so much pain and hurt and trauma underneath the surface. They've been operating out of that pain and suffering for so long that they don't even realize that the world can see the pain and suffering. Like, the world can hear it and feel it. The world can pick up on it. It can be read easily. Maybe it's just that you bring that out of a person. Maybe sometimes you happen to trigger this person's need or desire or understanding that there's a need for healing there. I don't know. But I know. Hurt people hurt people. Because they don't know nothing else. Sometimes it's self-sabotage. Sometimes it's self-defense mechanisms that have been learned, whether they're healthy or not. Hurt people hurt people. You know, we live in this time and this age where it's all about cancel culture and people just want to cancel. But some of you motherfuckers need to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up and listen. Listen to your fucking self. Because your goddamn self is telling you, bitch, I need a hug. Bitch, I need some helping. Bitch, I need this. I need that. Your fucking self will tell you what you need. You got to fucking listen, though. You can't just be operating out of survival mode your whole fucking life and expect nothing to happen. You're going to fall apart. You are literally going to fall the fuck apart if you don't get your shit together. That's why self-care is so fucking important. So your motherfucking ass don't spaz out and go kill your goddamn manager. Okay? All right, self-care is so fucking important. And maybe, listen, that girl that went and killed the goddamn manager, maybe that was her self-care at that moment, right? But we have to find healthier ways to do such things, right? We have to find ways to do such things, because sometimes you are lashing out or hurting people that were sent to help you. And that's why I said sometimes life has to be people's teachers. Because sometimes, I think sometimes people build up this idea of you in their mind, because then if they don't put a negative concept of you in their mind, then it's going to show just that much how much they got to work on, right? That's what I think. But the reality of the fact is that you always, at some point, going to have to find a way to look at your goddamn self. Here's why. Because you're going to keep going through the same shit you've been going through unless you look your motherfucking ass in that mirror and say, hey, bitch, what are we doing here? What's going on here? You're going to have to do that. Hey, Angelus, I'm intending to come back later, but there was something just on my heart, something on my mind that I wanted to kind of just discuss. And I was on here earlier, but it fucking shorted me. So I'm probably going to end up talking about this again today. The same conversation is probably going to come up multiple times because of the fact that my first video was shorted. But look, sometimes it's like you want to escape the responsibility of the power that you do actually have in your life. This is the reason why people prefer to externalize power, so that they don't have to recognize, they don't have to take the blame for their own shit. But I tell you, for me personally, I'd rather look at my shit and be like, damn, how could I have done better here and there? Damn, what did I do there that was wrong? Like, I look at, like, on every situation, on every fucking thing, everything I go through and experience, trust, I didn't assess that motherfucking conversation. Trust, I didn't assess that whole situation and scenario to discern and to determine where the fuck I fucked up, where I had myself fucked up, where I had shit fucked up at, right? And if I come back and I determine that I ain't have shit fucked up, some people are in a space where they would rather make you the villain in their mind and in their heart so that they can escape responsibility. Because listen, if you have to accept responsibility for this thing right here, you got to go back and look at a whole bunch of other shit that you probably escaped responsibility and accountability from. And a lot of people don't want to do that. Like, damn, I fucked that shit up, didn't I? Like, damn, that was me, wasn't it? Yup. Yeah, that was me. Like, damn, I was wrong as fuck on that. Like, damn, I was wrong as fuck on that. Right? But shit ain't gonna change unless you do. Shit gonna stay the same. You gonna keep going through the same shit unless you look at your goddamn self and fix you, instead of trying to point the finger on what everybody else got to fix themselves. Because everything starts with you. Every fucking thing starts with you. You know, it's so interesting. When I first started to learn certain concepts, you know, sometimes it's like, well, how? You know, you question this shit. You question it. You question, well, how is everything about me? And how is, hey, Ivory, Truly Blessed and Angela's Carter, how y'all doing, babes? You know, it's easy to be like, oh, well, how is that my fault? And how did I responsible for that? I didn't do that. But then when you start really looking at shit, level for level, layer for layer, you get it. You like, okay. I see what they meant. I see what they meant when they said that it's my fault anyway, and I got to take responsibility for it. Here's why, because you the motherfucking creator, goddammit. You the motherfucking creator. Everything that happened in your life, here's how. If you are a woman, and deep down, you want a man in your life, right? Deep down, you want a good man. You want a man that's going to love you. You want a man that's going to be understanding. You want a man that's going to take care of you. A man that's going to allow you to take care of him. You want a man that's going to be a good father. You want a man that's gonna be there for you when you need him. You want a man that's gonna be faithful, you know? But if you walk around on a day-to-day saying niggas ain't shit, if you walk around on a day-to-day and say all men cheat, if you walk around on a day-to-day and say ain't no good men out there, what do you think you gonna get? Let me tell you something. If you walk around saying niggas ain't shit, ain't no good men out here, all men cheat, ain't no man good, they all bad, this and that, the third, here's what's gonna happen. Some of the men that come across you ain't shit. That's just facts. Some of the men that comes across you, they okay. They got maybe a problem here too. They just need a little bit of straightening, a little bit of fixing, right? Some men that's gonna come across you gonna be good men. But you gonna run their ass off. Here's why. Because your mind, you've already told yourself, you've spoken it, you've thought it, you felt it, and niggas ain't shit, ain't no good men. So what's going to happen is every good man that comes into your life, you already got this idea that ain't no good men. So obviously that good man that came into your life, he ain't no good man because ain't no good men, right? And that good man that came into your life, you gonna treat him like niggas who ain't shit. Why? Because in your mind, you've already told yourself, you already accepted, received, believed, and deep down you feel that you know there ain't no good men. So now you treating even the good men like they not like they not good, because in your mind ain't no good men. So you ain't even gonna be able to see when the good man come in your life. You're not even gonna be able to receive that because you don't believe that. It's not true to you that there are good men. It's not a reality to you that there's a man out there that don't cheat. It's not a reality to you. So those types of men may come into your experience, but you won't notice them. Or you won't be able to treat them the way that they need to be treated in order to stay in your life. Because all men ain't shit, and that's how you treat the men that you meet, is like men ain't shit. Same goes for men who think there ain't no good women out here. All women is hoes and all women is this and that. All women is bitches. All women need to be treated the same. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to run the good women out your fucking life because your motherfucking ass can't see that there's a good woman right in your motherfucking face and you treating her like the other ones. And you don't need to treat her like that. And eventually she's going to say, well, fuck you. Because she's a good woman. You don't treat a good woman like you treat the bad women. Now that situation that happens where you end up dealing with these terrible men in your life, ladies, or terrible women in your life, gentlemen, is because you're not allowing yourself to receive the good men or the good women that are out there. Because in your mind, you've already told yourself, ain't no good men, ain't no good women. All men lie, all women lie, all men cheat, all women cheat. You've told yourself that this is what life will give me. This is the only thing that life gives me. And so therefore, every time you come across somebody that actually is good, you are going to create out of them the chaos that's in your mind. Because you're going to treat them a certain way. You're going to treat them wrong. You're going to treat them a way they don't deserve to be treated. You're going to talk to them like you talk to them. And they're going to say, fuck you. Eventually, they're going to say, fuck you. Some of them sooner than others. That pain that you have, that you pretend is gone, is not fucking gone. Because if it was gone, then you would be able to receive good things, good people, good situations in your life, and take them for what they are instead of trying to characterize the whole world with what you know in your mind. If you a woman that say niggas ain't shit, ain't no good men out there, in your mind ain't no good men out there. So all men in the world have to fit in your small mind. This is your mind. This is the world. So everything in between here, you can't fit nothing on the outside of this, outside of your mind. You can't fit none of that stuff in your mind because your mind only fits what's right there, right? That's why you got to be able to take a look at your motherfucking self. You got to look at your goddamn self in the mirror and say, man, where am I fucking up at? Where can I be better at? How can I improve this thing about me so I can get better fucking results? If you are unwilling to look at yourself, you will always end up with the same fucking results. And you will never get beyond your current paradigm. because you're not allowing yourself to expand or grow. And that's fine. If you want to stay right here, that's cool too. There's a world out here. You know, most of us want to go and explore the world out here, right? That's fine if you want to stay right there in your little bubble. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You want to stay in your bubble, that's cool. But just remember that the rest of the world doesn't have to be there with you. And the rest of the world won't be there with you. Some people have to learn through life. Life gonna have to teach you some things. Life gonna have to teach you some things. I talk about a lot of different concepts and things on this channel. And some of them could be, you know, considered this way or that way. I don't know. But the reality is, no matter what it is that I teach or I talk about here on the channel, how you use that information is all up to you. Whether what I'm teaching you here is good or bad is literally based upon the intention that you have when you use the methods that I offer. Everybody has a different intention. If you come to my channel and you intend to use the knowledge and the information that I give with pure intentions to do good, to live good life, and to treat people well, you will be blessed. If you come to my channel and you intend to use it for, you know, for nefarious reasons, for manipulation, to learn to manipulate people a little bit better, or to use it for ill intent, you get what you put out. It's always going to come back. No matter what I'm talking about, understand that I'm always coming from a pure heart and a pure space because I understand the laws of the universe. The laws of the universe says what you put out, you will get back. And I'm only putting out things that I would like to receive back. I'm only putting out good. Now understand that sometimes through you, through me, through you, or whomever, sometimes people are getting back what they put out. The purpose of me saying that is this. Any bit of knowledge and details or information can be used in any kind of way. It is about the intention of the person using the knowledge and the information. Okay? It's not about the knowledge or the information. It's about how you use it, how you apply it, and sometimes how you perceive it. Some people come here and they get the cliff notes, and then they run, and then they go off with the cliff notes, and they forget the wisdom. The wisdom is important because the wisdom teaches you the moral, the cautionary part. That's what these podcast people be doing. They be taking the cliff notes of some shit, and then they run off and create some content with it, but they forgot the fucking wisdom. Forgot the wisdom. Some people life gonna have to teach them. Some people are so caught up in the stories that they want to tell themselves in order to stay comfortable. Some people don't even realize the problems that they create in their own lives because of that comfortability, because of that need and that desire and that want to be so comfortable that everybody else has to be wrong and you have to be right. It's a blue jay over here. I feel like that has a spiritual meaning, the way it dropped down and all that shit like that. I'm going to look that up later, though. What I'm trying to tell you is it's best to take accountability, responsibility, and look at the self sooner than later. Because you are always creating, whether you know it or not, whether you want to or not. And by default, you could be creating good things, but by default, you could be creating some fucked up shit in your life. because of how you think, how you treat people, how you talk, how you speak, how you thinking about shit, how you visualize things in your mind, when everybody in the world not like that. So I just, I want you guys to really be thinking about this stuff, because you know what? Child, look. Sometimes you got to sit back and let life be people's teacher, because you know what? I got shit that I'm trying to be doing. I'm trying to be healthy, happy in my garden, smoking my weed, drinking my mimosas, you know what I mean? With my little high heel fluffy shoes on and shit like that, looking cute, looking pretty, loving on whatever man I decide to be with. I'm loving that man. Okay, loving on him. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so I have to come sometimes and just and talk about little things like this. Like, sometimes the people are going to have to get lessons from life, and you are going to have to go on your merry little way. Okay, listen, when I say merry little way, just know that in my mind I am super cute right now with a mini skirt on and my little fluffy sandals with the fur on them. You know what I mean? My little cute anklets. Okay, I got a nice little cute updo. Literally, I can sit here and visualize what I'm doing right now, in my little happy place. I'm gonna walk out into my garden, feed my koi fish, Remember the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Now, I know this probably gonna sound crazy, but I think in my garden, I want to create, I want to have an event, a Willy Wonka and a Chocolate Factory event. That's what I've decided. I decided that. I'm going to have a Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory event where we have the Oompa Loompas. It's the Oompa Loompas that I really want to have the Oompa Loompas walking around giving champagne and shit like that. So yeah, we're going to do the Oompa Loompas. But honey, I'm just focused on sitting pretty, being pretty, you know what I mean? Being cute and not stressing about shit that ain't got nothing really to do with me, because that's what it be. I be seeing people feeling some kind of way about shit, and you know what? Reality, it ain't got shit to do with me. I'm coming to that realization right now that it ain't got shit to do with me. These are people's internalized issues, people's internalized shit that they dealing with, and they fighting their own demons, and I'm just in the way a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm just present while they fighting their demons, and that ain't got shit to do with me, right? That ain't got shit to do with me. Because listen, if I've done something wrong, I can always admit where I'm wrong. But if I ain't done nothing wrong, I ain't admitting shit, because I ain't did nothing wrong. Is that fucking simple? And I ain't apologizing about some shit that I ain't did wrong. So what the fuck is we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, it comes to that point where you just got to sit back and just let shit be what it is. So sometimes life has to be the teacher of people, right? Sometimes you cannot soothe the baby. Baby just gonna have to cry. But sometimes you can, though, Sometimes you can soothe that baby, Like I told y'all, for my baby, my hungriest baby, for him, I had to give him some fucking mashed potatoes. Okay. I had to give him some mashed potatoes. Doctors was like, he's too young. Nah, he needs some food. This baby's still hungry. You know what I mean? He needs some food. He'll drink the breast, and my breast's tired at this point. I need a break. Okay? He's still hungry. So I got to feed him some mashed potatoes and some goddamn baby food. He needs a canned baby food, okay? Okay? I'm going to mash up some peas and all that shit like that. I'm going to mash up some of this stuff. He about to get some food. Y'all not about to tell me my baby not hungry. He's still hungry. Okay? So I'm going to feed my baby. If he hungry, he going to get some food. Some people at you know, at grown stages need to be soothed like that, but sometimes you can't do that because then motherfuckers, I don't know. I just feel like it's so many things going on in my mind right now. And the reality is, the first video that I made was the best version of this conversation, right? Of course. The one that only took 2 seconds of the goddamn video. I was over there talking for 30 fucking minutes. I feel blessed. I feel blessed to be able to see things that maybe people don't see, you know? I feel blessed to be able to receive information and knowledge from spirit and be able to use it and apply it in life and in a way that makes sense, you know? I feel blessed that I have foresight, that I have the sight to see when I'm fucking up and when I'm not fucking up, and the ability to acknowledge those things and fix it. Because my thing is this, listen, I usually have long friendships. My friendships are long-term generally. If I choose for somebody to be my friend, we friends, right? And they usually, my friendships last for a long time because I take care of those friendships. Some people don't believe in those types of things, but I do. You know what I mean? I believe in taking care of the people that are around you and that's surrounding you, because listen, one day you might need them, okay? And it doesn't have to be no monetary shit you need. It don't have to be no physical shit you need. Maybe one day you just need them to support you mentally and emotionally, and they do. Okay? I think sometimes we get so caught up in the physical shit and the financial and the money shit. It's like there's so many other things to look at. There's so many things to look at. Why are we so short-sighted? We can't be that short-sighted. Shit, got teenage girls going to kill their goddamn managers at McDonald's. I mean, she ain't no teenager, but she looked like one. Take care of your friends. Take care of your loved ones, you know? But I also understand the fact where sometimes you got to let life teach their ass too. And that sometimes tough love is the best love. Listen, my mama taught me tough love on purpose, okay? My mama's the tough love queen, goddammit, okay? But sometimes those things are needed, right? Sometimes people do have to learn lessons on their own, because then they're not learning how to appreciate you, right? I'll tell you something. Me and my best friend one time, we was having a conversation or whatever, and I was talking about my son, Jabra. My youngest son is on the spectrum, right? He's autistic, and the system for shit damn near 13 years, 12, 13 years, the system did not want to recognize that my child was on the spectrum, right? And I had gone through so much through the system for them to recognize that my child was on the spectrum. So one time, my best friend, actually, her nephew is on the spectrum, but he's like more what do you call it? It's like his autism is far more pronounced, right? So one time me and her were having a conversation about this all, and I was telling her, like, yeah, I finally got them to like recognize that your girl's on the spectrum, blah, blah, blah. And she said something that in a way that she said it kind of offended me, because it made me feel like, okay, like when you said that thing, it made me feel like you don't know my struggle. Like, you don't know what I've been going through taking care of this child. You know what I mean? So I pointed that out to her like the next day or something like that. She immediately was like, I'm sorry. Like, I wasn't trying to like dismiss your experience. That's how important it is to be able to call something out, because let me tell you something. The moment that she was like, I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean? Like, and it was so quick. I was like, well, it made me feel like this, like I was offended by that and da-da-da. I told her, she immediately apologized, right? The importance of that was that strengthened our bond. That strengthened our bond because, you know, the day before when we was on the phone and she was saying stuff, I kind of was like not saying how I felt, right? Like I was kind of like, but I was feeling that way, but I wasn't saying it, you know what I mean, at that moment. Because I was feeling emotional about it and I didn't want to like just blurt some shit out. So I was like, you know, oftentimes you'll find out about me, like if I know that something is triggering me, I might just not say nothing at that moment. I might wait till later because I want to make sure when I say what I gotta say, that I'm not just saying some shit just to piss you off or just saying some shit out of a hurt space, right? So I didn't say nothing that day. I just kind of waited till the next day. Well, the next day when we talked about it, I had primed my emotions a little bit better. I had kind of thought about it a little bit more and allowed myself to kind of like remove, because you know, sometimes when something bothers you or something triggers you, that initial feeling is like, sometimes your response is going to be the most vicious it could ever be, right? Me and my best friend never really had no issues like that where I had to say something that was like, that really kind of bothered me, you know? Because usually we right on target with things, and that's okay. Like, you know, if there's something that's bothering her that I would like to know so that I can apologize and say, I'm sorry, you know, that's not my intention, you know, to do that. Because ultimately I want you to know that I love you enough to care about how I'm making you feel. I love you enough to care about how I'm making you feel. I love you enough to care about how I'm making you feel. That is important. So she apologized immediately. Our relationship and our bond actually grew so much stronger after that because I was feeling vulnerable on the things that was going on. I was feeling very vulnerable at that moment, which was like, okay, that's why when she initially was saying some things, I was just like, I just can't respond right now because I was feeling very vulnerable. And I knew that I was going to respond from a hurt space. So the next day we had the same conversation, came back up again. But that day I was much better at like knowing that I wasn't going to be like snapping. So I expressed to her how I felt about the thing, and she was able to receive and, you know, respond to that from that space. I'm not saying that all of your friends that you do that with is going to be that way, right? Right? I know it, but you gotta do it. You gotta say the thing that might cause the rift in order to determine and find out, right? My best friend get mad at me one time. Look, one time another time after that, we drunk, right? We drunk and we get into a goddamn argument on live, right? First argument we ever had, honestly. The first argument we ever had was on live, and I was drunk as fuck, right? And I don't even think, like, honestly, if I'm being honest with you, I didn't even take it as an argument, but the rest of the world looked at it as an argument, right? The rest of the world was like, y'all was arguing. I didn't feel like we was arguing. I just felt like we was debating, going back and forth, blah, 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 right? Like, but, you know, she, you know, same thing. The next day, she like, girl, bye. She like, we was both drunk, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't no thing. But this is the importance of being able to communicate with the people that you love, how you're feeling about things, or what something made you feel like. When you said this, it made me feel like that, or da-da-da, or, well, when you said that, I thought this, but, you know, and then you could say, well, that's not what I meant, or that's not how I felt, or whatever. But that's so important, that little going back and forth banter where you both are giving where you both are able to speak to one another, communicate how you're feeling, communicate what something has made you feel or think, so that we can find some resolve, so that we don't have to continue to have the same fucking conversation. What happens when you having the same fucking conversation with somebody and it's like an argumentative thing is there's something unresolved in that conversation. That's why you keep having it. It's not resolved. So anyway, that's the importance of being able to say just the facts. When you said this, it made me feel like this. Or when you said this, it made me think this. Simple. It's also very much just as important for you to be able to say, I'm sorry, I did not mean that. Or I'm sorry, I did not, you know, that's not what I meant. Or be able to explain, okay, well, no, I was thinking this and that and dot, 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 and this is where I was. This is what I was feeling when I said that, or this is what I meant by this, you know? It is important to be able to communicate things. Because sometimes you going on for weeks and weeks and weeks and months and months and months, pissed and mad and upset about something that wasn't even what you thought it was. You mad about some shit that ain't even real. You mad about some shit that ain't even fucking real. That shit is not what I meant. I did not say that, nor did I even nor was that what I was intending to say, nor was that what I'm implying. None of that is how I felt when the words that came out of my mouth came out of my mouth. It was never in that way to mean any of the shit you just said. It is important to be able to have conversations where two people can communicate with one another. And it's not just one or the other person, dominating the conversation. That is important. Right? Because you will find that most of the shit that you had a problem with ain't even no fucking problem. You just creating problems in your goddamn mind for no fucking reason. Just creating shit. Making shit up. Anyway. Sometimes life has to be that lesson though. Sometimes life got to be the teacher. And that's got to be okay too. I am just going to end this conversation here though. I'm going to come back later and talk more about some of this. Probably have this conversation again a little bit later tonight. After I've had some thoughts and, able to prime some things. But I want to say that moment when my best friend recognized that, I felt like some of the things that she was saying it felt like it was invalidating my feelings. She immediately was like, I'm sorry, like, that's not what I'm trying to do. And our relationship from that point, matter of fact, the issues that we've had in our relationship, like, whenever we have an issue, our bond grows stronger. The reason for that, or the reason why that is because when you have an issue with somebody and you realize that you guys both have the ability to work it out, to fix it, to resolve the issue, then you know that, okay, well, I'm not dealing with somebody that's just going to bail every time we got a problem with each other. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. So now we have our next issue. Then we realize, okay, well, I know I'm friends with somebody, or I've got somebody that's not tripping off little shit. You know what I mean? So there we go. We got another good thing on the books. Then you're like, okay, well, I know this person got my back no matter what, because even though I was mad at you, when you called me, you picked up the fucking phone and said, I need you, I showed up. Even though I was pissed at you, bitch, I'm still mad at you. What the fuck you want? We gotta fight this hoe, we gonna fight this hoe, but then after that, don't call me no more, bitch. You go through shit with people because, over time, you just have to learn where you stand in their life and where they stand in your life. And when you have issues with somebody and you guys resolve those issues, you get closer. You get closer. You do. You do. If you guys both can come out of it without being resentful, without being angry and shit like that, y'all gonna get closer, period. This is in relationships and in friendships. Because I tell you what, when me and my best friend had that argument and I was hollering and screaming and shit like that, she said, girl, that ain't nothing. I know you was just drunk. And then boom, we both just moved on. Easy. Easy pie. Just like there's times she was all mad and drunk too. Talking all kind of talking big shit. I know she just drunk. You know what I mean? I know she just drunk. It is important also to make sure that you're not harboring hateful feelings. Though, this is with somebody that's not harboring some secret animosity though. So that when she get mad, when she drunk and shit, she's not saying like, "Listen, bitch," she's not saying no slick shit. You know what I mean? She ain't saying no super fucked up shit. She just, you know what I mean? She just on some shit. Just y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna have me fucked up, like shit like that. She not saying no slick shit. She not saying no resentful shit. You know what I mean? Like I resented you for the day I met you, bitch. She not saying no shit like that. So understand what I'm saying when I'm saying it. I'm not talking about a bitch that secretly hates you. No, if a bitch secretly hates you and you find out, that's it. Close the door. Close the fucking door. Cause listen, they say, keep your enemies close. Well, fuck that. Cause listen, with friends like those who need enemies. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't be having no motherfuckers in your life like that, because these motherfuckers be speaking nasty shit on you. These motherfuckers be speaking tragedy on you and shit like that. You can't have no motherfuckers close to you talking about keep your enemies close. No, the fuck, I will not. Enemies be right the fuck on where they need to be, and that's not in my life. The fuck you need your enemies close for? No, you don't. That statement's stupid as hell. Hey, Aquarius, babe, was. Hey, Aries woman, how we doing, babes? Listen, I'm just going off a little bit, you know. Going off the top of the dome, you know. Just whatever come up, you know. Talking about that shit. But it started off as, sometimes you got to let life be their teacher. Sometimes you got to let life teach their ass. Sometimes people not going to learn how to be generous to you or how to be grateful for you being in their life because they don't even know how to appreciate you. Because they don't even think. Like I said earlier, if a woman thinks that all men are cheaters, all men are bad, ain't no good men out there, every man she meet gonna be that. Ain't no good man. So every man she meet, she gonna treat his ass so badly that he turns into that, or he already is that because he ain't shit, because that's what she attracted. And the same go for men. For a man out there who thinks there ain't no good women, this and that and the third, every woman that comes into his life gonna turn into some other shit. Good women gonna come into his life and disappear. Why? Because you got me fucked up. I'm a good woman. You're not about to treat me like that. You can get by with some shit for a little bit. Eventually, it's gonna be like, fuck you, nigga. Get the fuck on. Get the fuck out of my life. Eventually, motherfuckers gonna be like, fuck you. You know, but you... listen, life, the universe is literally here to offer you everything that you ask for. And you saying, and I'm not just talking about what you asked for, like just, oh, I wish to have such and such. No, what you think, feel, know, speak, all of that shit turns into real things in real life. So if you mostly speaking women ain't shit, women ain't shit, women ain't shit, women ain't shit, and then one day you like, okay, I want a good woman. You ain't getting no fucking good woman when you think and you know and you feel that women ain't shit. You gonna get an ain't shit woman. And that's gonna be the one that you love, that you hold on to, while all the good women just keep passing your motherfucking ass by, you dumbass nigga. Right? Same for the dumbass bitches. I'm not talking to no specific gender right now. I'm talking to every fucking body. Talking about niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit. Ain't no good men. Ain't no good men. Ain't no good men in your life, bitch. I keep good men around me. Good men always come around me. Always. Can't beat them off with a bat, baby. So how you speak to yourself in your life, how you speak to your existence, that's what the fuck gonna be there. That's what the fuck gonna show up. So be careful. Be mindful. And be ready and prepared to accept accountability, take responsibility, and acknowledge where you fucking up at so you can fix it. You can't fucking fix it if you trying to blame the world. If you trying to blame the whole fucking world for the shit that's going on in your life, you ain't gonna never be able to fix the shit. It's gonna keep happening. Because you're not never gonna look at yourself. You're not never gonna look at yourself and say, damn, is there something that I'm doing that I can change? And then you're gonna start looking and thinking deeper. Every time you ask yourself a question, the answer gonna come. Right? You start asking, is there something that I could be doing better? Is there something that I'm not doing? You know, how can I get better? How can I improve? How can I do this? The answer will come to you. You know what? You know how every time you go and you start meeting a man and you start getting them negative thoughts coming in your mind? You got to stop that shit. You got to learn how to turn your mind around. Yeah, you got to start speaking better affirmations to yourself, because every time you go out to meet a good man, you say, ain't no good man out here in your mind. And so you think that this man ain't shit. So you frown at him when he's talking to you. Or you treat him like a fuckboy when he's talking to you. And he can see that. He can feel that. He can feel that you really not seeming like you interested because you think he's a fuckboy. When in reality, he's just interested to get to know you. Right? He's just interested to get to see you, to get to know more about you. But because you think he's a fuckboy, now you're going to make these unrealistic expectations for him to jump over these fucking hoops. Who wants to do that? Do you? Because let me tell you something. Just like every woman has these, you know, fucking over the mountain ass expectations, there's niggas out there with the same shit, over the mountain ass expectations. Even if you're perfect, you ain't perfect. You could be a good woman with good credit, got your own money, all sorts of shit going on for yourself, right? But because this man has it in his mindset that ain't no good women out there, all women are like this and like that, oh, you trying to manipulate him, you trying to do this and you trying to do that. What the fuck? Do you see what I'm trying to say? One day you're going to have to look at your goddamn self in the motherfucking mirror and accept and receive that there's something in here I need to fix. Something right up in here I need to fix. And it's better that you do it now than to wait till later. The longer off it goes, the further down the line it goes, the harder it's going to be to change. But if you start right now today, it'll be easier and easier every day. All right? It gets easier and easier every day. You will have to receive responsibility at some point that I am responsible for this shit. And the good thing about taking responsibility and accountability for your life is that even if everything is fucked up right now, if you really start taking yourself seriously, really start taking this seriously, then everything can become good in your life because you decide so. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications every time I upload a new video. Smash the like button and I'll see y'all in the next one. I'll be back today. Today I'll be back because I got more to talk about.